The sun burned low over the dry plains, casting long shadows that stretched like silent witnesses to the injustice unfolding in the dusty town of Red Fork. 14-year-old Clara May stood trembling by the church doors, clutching the hem of her faded dress, her heart pounding with dread. Her mother's hand had guided her here, forcing Clara into a marriage with a wealthy stranger, and Clara felt every fiber of her being rebel against it. Inside, her mother sat with hardened resolve, her eyes cold. The stranger, a man cloaked in authority, smiled with satisfaction. Clara's future had been bartered for prosperity. Her world felt suddenly small, confined, a gilded prison. But hope arrived in the form of Hank McAllister, an old rancher with weathered features and eyes that had seen too much to stand idle when wrong was being done. Hank, respected by all and feared by many, strode into the church with a slow, steady confidence. Clara's mother stiffened. The stranger's smug smile faltered. "Not today," Hank declared, voice firm yet not unkind. Silence swallowed the room. Clara's mother glared, but Hank turned to her with unwavering resolve. "She's a child, and she has a right to choose her own path." Murmurs rippled through the congregation. In that moment, Clara saw something stir, bravery she hadn't known she possessed. Hank knelt before Clara. "You don't have to do this," he said gently. Clara's eyes filled with tears, a mix of fear and the faintest glimmer of hope. She exhaled, as if letting go of the rope she'd been tightened with. Then she stood tall. "I won't," she whispered, voice soft but steady. In the hush that followed, her mother's face crumpled. Not with shame, but with disbelieving astonishment. The stranger sputtered, then turned and stalked away. Hank extended his hand. Clara took it, guided not by obligation but by the kindness of a man who understood that protecting innocence was far more valuable than securing gold. Word of the standoff rippled through Red Fork. The townsfolk, inspired by Hank's courage, started questioning their own beliefs. Conversations turned toward fairness. Respect for Clara's right to choose didn't vanish overnight, but a seed was planted. Years later, Clara returned to the church, not as a frightened girl, but as a confident young woman. She stood at the same threshold where her path had once been nearly sealed by others. The doors swung open, and she entered, this time to say her own vows, chosen freely and given with love. And yes, the old rancher sat proudly in the front row, his head bowed humbly as Clara gave Hank the credit for teaching her a lesson she would carry always. That true strength is protecting the vulnerable, and true freedom is having the power to choose your own story. Stories of real-life courage. Though Clara May's story lives in the realm of fiction, it reflects real-world examples of young girls resisting the injustice of forced marriage. Ruby Marie, forcibly married at 15, endured great suffering before escaping and becoming an advocate for other survivors. Her resilience is a beacon of hope. The sun. Nujat Ali, married at age 10 in Yemen, bravely sought a divorce and challenged societal norms, ultimately becoming a symbol in the fight against child marriage. Wikipedia. Nada Al-Adil, another young Yemeni girl, uploaded a heartfelt YouTube plea pleading against her arranged marriage at age 10. Her message went viral, underscoring the power of a single voice in the digital era.